if that's not some New World Order thing, but then John Fenton could be, that Fenton, the new Home Movies character, could be an underlining theme that John Fenton is actually like a son of a bitch causing a temper tantrum hissy fit, that he's a temper tantrum hissy fit underlining between his good posture, and the kid down the street that is kind of like a fag and like doesn't really act right, doesn't present himself right, has like a verbose manner, a verbose pride. He has a pride, almost a sarcastic pride, which any personality that he gives off, that he's going to either, maybe he can become hard, which is going to be hard or whatever, or have a verbose pride, which doesn't really equate to any type of relaxed nature or anything like that. So that kid's like pretty much an asshole, what I see with that, how he acts or whatever, and like totally sucks. I don't really mind though. I like the kid. I think he's funny on another level too. I think he has like a good personality in some ways. Like it's almost like humorous at times. And like with all the different frequencies and stuff like that girls are capable of doing, like males as well carry different frequencies, so people like acting certain ways and people like talking. So I don't think that it's something to discourage or anything like that, and that I don't think like discouraging people is like generally bad or whatever else that there is. But it's bizarre that they have 2060, they had all these like breeding problems and stuff like that, all this stuff coming from other countries and whatever. They're trying to do stuff to resolve it and whatever else that there is, experimenting whatever. So I think that there's a big thing with casting people out and whatever else that there is, that like that the way they cast people out and whatever is like that they actually like convince some little kids that they're schizophrenic and try to put them on medication and guide them that way once they find out that they're going to be unfit to breed, like they tried to do to me and whatever else that there is, which is why my father's friends were saying not to take those medications, because they were Vietnam vets and stuff like that, and they thought the medications would stop me from being able to be art or be an artist or doing the painting. So it's fucked up now that they have all these other people and that like they're not really acting right. To say that you're hurt, you're acting right, and you're overcoming and you feel good about it, you have a reason to live and stuff like that, you feel you have a reason to live or you feel good about it, versus these other people that just really aren't right or whatever else that there is, that there are means for, that there's 2060, that there's means for them to become artists. I'm not really trying to preach, but I'm being put in the situation where it's kind of like life or death for me. So I mean, I preach to you that I don't really want to kill people, I don't really want to hurt people, I'd like to just give people the things that they want or desire, but that they just had the Holocaust or something like that too, that they have schizophrenia, that they have all these countries, that people's minds are set in dreaming and stuff like that, that you're going to be dreaming certain ways, so stuff exists a certain way and whatever else that there is, that's really like a weird, bizarre, messed up thing though, that's happening on that level, that and like people just, like when they're like offbeat and misguided or whatever and stuff like that, not even that they're misguided, that they're offbeat and can't really be guided and won't feel right or whatever else that there is, that it's kind of messed up to me on that level. That I think there are a lot of people that want to say they're like special or psychic and guided, but I really wasn't getting gang stalked when I created that painting, and that it was created that way, and I was thinking a certain way, set a certain way, and like doing things a certain way, like my mind a certain way, and that my mind seems to be functioning when in my like waking state, that I'm like thinking a certain way, that I go unconscious or whatever, not unconscious, that I like have like a forward drive when I'm doing things, I'm realizing I'm doing things even though I'm on psychedelics, I realize I'm painting or whatever else that there is like an electromagnetic frequency which is cut off by other things and other taking other drugs, like things that cut off electromagnetic frequencies like antipsychotic drugs or whatever, that people take the drugs which harbor electromagnetic frequencies and then they're hurt by them, when other people, whether they're artists or not artists, are able to take these drugs which harbor electromagnetic frequencies and that they're not hurting people and that they're emitting certain things and that they're being helped by them and whatever, and that there are these other people that are helped by these other drugs, or not even helped by them, but that they're being pacified by these other drugs, or dulled down by these drugs, to cut off certain parts of their personality which are hurt by the psychedelic drugs and whatever else that it is. It kind of makes me wonder about these people's validity in the universe, and that they're just clogging and wasting and taking up space. When there are people harassing me for whatever reason, that would be that the people at that art store were afraid to talk to me about that painting, thinking that it had something to do with psychedelic drugs, being afraid because of the laws, that if they were to get in a conversation with me, that they were going to suffer some type of legal implications, or be unable to respond to me the right way for fear of legal implications, so that they couldn't realistically start a conversation with me or have any conversation with me, putting me in a bad, dark place or whatever, confusing me not really understanding what was happening at that time. Just felt like a lot of stuff with people booking musicians and people like that, people having booked musicians before getting into complications with psychedelic artists and stuff like that. So you're creating a whole load of shit, intellectual people or thinking people or people with cosmic energy or people with energies pertaining to frequencies, or people that understand frequencies and stuff like that. You're doing things to hurt and fuck these people over, ostracize them or whatever else, put them in a dark place, like I said before, making it hard for them to communicate with other people, cutting them off from society and whatever else, making a joke out of it with gang stalking, helping people. I mean, that you let certain people get gang stalked too. It seems like this way, that you're letting certain people get gang stalked and whatever else that it is. Like in like college areas or whatever. That's what I'm understanding's going on with this mail order system. That Travis kid saying he kept ordering packages, they kept coming, he kept doing worse and worse stuff, that they kept coming, like, and whatever else it is, letting people get getting gang stalked around certain things. That they're doing this, that the way that they are, and that the way they treat people getting gang stalked, and that I wasn't getting gang stalked when I was creating the painting, or I wasn't getting harassed in the traditional gang stalking form, that I wasn't even aware that people were stalking me when I was creating the painting, that I wasn't being victimized by sidetracked noise and shit like that. That the one time it did happen, I forgot within the day when the police officer was whistling in the house next door. Like I threw my guitar and like screamed, hoping that he'd come over and say something to me. That I forgot that within the day, so I wasn't being victimized by gang stalking. I wasn't in fact being gang stalking when I had created that painting, or I wasn't being gang stalked when I created that painting. So it's turning into something where gang stalking messes with people on all sorts of serious levels, whether it be that they're trying to do things, that you're putting people in a place, imposing like a consciousness on them or whatever else that there is and stuff like that. And for me, why wouldn't you just say, oh, that person is a successful painter, that they have that you should be aware of my income or whatever else that is, that my income has nothing to do with you, that I have an income because of the things that I've done and whatever else, that my social life really has nothing to do with you. Someone's a business worker, they're not taking drugs, they dumped you and broke up with you, you work at the grocery store, you're still allowed to go to that grocery store and whatever else it is, you still go to that grocery store, that like that someone starts threatening you because of that, versus that these police officers think that they're targeting me with people in doing gang stalking, auditory noise gang stalking, whereas before they were gang stalking me, which I didn't know about, tracking the kids down the street, which was what they wrote on the message board, considering it volunteer work, that it's really inoffensive, and I mean it's really offensive and stuff like that, that it's really offensive, that the way this country is going is really wrong, the way that those attitudes is that these people are doing these things, that it's really unjust and peculiar the way that they act doing it and stuff like that, that it's their procedure and stuff like that, that it's not really adding up or relating to me in any way at all, that the way that I did paint that painting, that what I was doing when I was doing that, and them letting things that go on in this country the way that they do, that it's really not making sense to me on any level, and just becoming really annoying and stuff like that, that I reach out to people, offer my talents, offer to put that painting places, and people don't want to deal with me for whatever reason and stuff like that, that you're becoming screwed up, peculiar, and sidetracked, and that they have 2060 and stuff like that too. Sidetrack's really not an exact definition word and whatever, but that they have 2060 and whatever, that you're like creating this word and whatever else that this is, that like I think it's something that let people try things, that you let people try art, let people try things, that there are a lot of people that don't try certain things, wondering what the certain things are, thinking that they try certain things, or they think they're in a gang, somebody give them fake drugs or whatever else that there is, if that is a real gang, giving people fake drugs, whatever else that there is, whatever else people eat, police gang stalking people and stuff like that, from what I understand, that I'm doing no wrong, people telling me about gang stalking, that what would be happening to me, and that people want to end gang stalking, there are people campaigning to end gang stalking and stuff like that, that people don't like the act of gang stalking and whatever that it is, that it's not healthy or not productive, that it's not like it's not necessary to be done in society. I think it's this type of thing where people are going to live the same amount of time, whether or not you're taking like antidepressant type pills, or whether or not you're smoking pot or whatever, that like you eat the same thing, like you do like prostate cleanse type stuff, like then you can like clear out your system easier, you fast or whatever else that it is. It's healthy for some people, it's scientific for other people, that I was just eating so much sugar and ice cream to kill myself or whatever, thinking that I was dying and whatever else that it is, that I have kidney stones and pamphlix from it, that generally your kidneys aren't failing unless you have pamphlix or something like that, that I damage my pancreas. I think when if my kidney stones go away, then my pamphlix should clear up or whatever else that it is. That I was actually curious as to what that was on the internet. Wasn't really trying to get them or anything. Forgot that I was getting them when I was eating all the sugar, thinking that I was dying and whatever else that it is. Went to the dermatologist. So I was having a conversation with Molly about what I remembered on the message board, and then blocked it out of my mind up until the point where I was able to implement what I was talking to her about into reality, which is really bizarre to me, which shows how I turn my mind on and off or whatever, people trying to like stalk me and harass me, when I'm not sure that there is a right place for me to go, that I keep on in this situation till I go on Massachusetts public housing, or that you're trying to get me to go to a place which might not make sense, where people are trying to do things in vain or whatever else that there is, like that area in Cambridge, everybody thinking that they're painters and whatever else that there is, stuff that they want to work on, people saying that they know me and whatever else that is, that bizarre circumstances, that girl from Billerica, that she actually moved to that area at a young age because she got herpes, or that she wasn't from that area and from Billerica and knew my family through that way and was just gang stalking me through the bakery, and my father knew the people at that record store that well that they were going to have her meet me when I was a little kid and then gang stalk me at the record store when I was old enough to start going to the record store, that she was from Billerica and not working at the record store when I met her as a teenager or stuff like that. They thought that it would be funny to to confuse me as a child and put me in situations to see how I responded to them as a teenager or an adult, thinking that they'd be intellectual because people were so bored. Maybe that girl got cancer or some stuff like that. Maybe that's why she wasn't somebody that was planning to breed, and she heard about the people with herpes, so they had her start going to the record store, teaching her how to paint, making her think that painting was worthwhile and whatever else that it is. and me being someone that they thought was autistic and being interested in painting was supposed to have a relationship with her, and that you're gang stalking me because of that, them talking on the message board about marijuana being legal, and then that to go around those people because of people like that they're going to put stuff in my food or whatever else that there is. I'm really seeing no real set or pertinent tasks to be done with Liquitex paint or whatever else that there is, like music performances that I could do or whatever with drummers, like they have that weird First Adam and His Package album, which is really bizarre to me too, that they say, well, whoever is the drummer in that I was talking to Pat about Dead Guy being Dead Guy on that album, that he thought that Pat thought I was talking about that, and that there are these other hurt people that I'm supposed to do charity work paintings with them and stuff like that, that can easily be booked. I can easily be requested on that. That's why they wrote on that message board. I gave that up a long time ago, that there are people trying to like mess with me and fuck with me or whatever, when they're like, I don't know, that it really doesn't relate to me. It's really bringing me no like joy or satisfaction. That what satisfaction is that girl going to get from doing like a Liquitex painting with someone like myself, that girl's personality and stuff like that, the picture that she put on the website and stuff like that, that's her like little pretty and things art show face, that they say that things are responding or not responding, whether she's responding or not responding, that I don't think that she's really responding to her emotions and stuff like that, that she's going to be overcome with joy crying because she did a Liquitex art painting with me. I'd like to see that or book that, but I think it's the type of thing where how people respond to things, she's going to try to do that and run around with a chicken like her head cut off, so that they already had her have a kid and have an abortion, or had her have a kid, and put the kid on medication after. She had a boy that they throw girls out, give girls boys, put them on medication, and let them confuse them like a game of pin the tail with on the donkey or whatever, and then kill them and cast them out of society, when that they have no real tasks that they can do, or in reality that they pay people off to be on medications and stuff like that, and let them do whatever they want, feed them, let them do whatever they want, and then that you're giving me things this way, that drugs are still legal, that you let people try drugs and whatever else that there is, that I painted the painting, so how can I be wrong, or whatever else that it is, that I'm like functioning on a certain level doing art, and that it's hard to tell, it's hard to say whether a Liquitex painting or these Tetris block paintings are real, or one's better than another, like an amateur one versus a professional one. I really think it's hard for people to tell, but that other painting stands out, that I do some paintings which aren't like professional, but a great deal of them are with these Liquitex stuff, and that other painting is out of this world. It's hard to tell when there's really something that came from electromagnetic frequency, or when I was only using my own frequencies to guide paint to do something in a way where it's electromagnetically positive, versus where I'm just matching colors and putting them on the canvas. But then there's also the ability for myself to like play music, hear music, tune real chords, real melody, real stuff that is there, real notes, which are documented and tuned perfectly and done and defined that way, when there are other people doing music and doing things with guitar tuners, doing it in vain, wasting space, not using real frequencies, real electromagnetic frequencies and stuff, that you're going to make me violent. I mean, not really, look at all these kidney stones I'm passing, that you're going to make other people violent, that you're saying because I'm getting gang stalked that I'm going to make other people violent or whatever, and that there are people wanting me to get gang stalked, people maybe even threatening me because I'm not getting gang stalked. You don't know that there's 2060 and the desire to end gang stalking and make facilities where people can find out what they really are and overcome, instead of giving them information to think that they could be something else, think that they could be an artist, think that they're going to respond to certain ways, think that they're going to hear music differently, they're going to fantasize about how that they're going to respond or how that they're going to hear music, and that they're going to be too threatened by not having the income or not having what's right in the economy, or they're going to be threatened by getting gang stalked, or they're going to be threatened by not being able to maintain in the right space or whatever to try or do these things, and that's happening to people, and that they have 2060, and that was just what was just happening to me, what I just talked about, what I said that I was doing, or what I was thinking that I was doing. So I mean, I can't really go with you now with these other people, that they could have enough marijuana for everybody and enough things for everybody, that I'm going to go and be annoyed, like have someone like be the wrong way towards me when I go to get it, when they have these things for everybody and whatever else that it is.